Hiya, hiya. Well, the virus has struck JetBlue. What is it? Somebody came in to the JFK terminal on JetBlue. That was my flight. It was going to be to Westchester. That wasn't a good choice the other day, was it? But I didn't go. The only person safe from this entire virus right now is Harvey Weinstein, because he is getting the top medical care, and also he is going to be quarantined for a long time, like 23 years of that. So he will miss the plague. Nobody's going to touch him, and he is not going to touch anybody else for 23 years, so I think he's safe. Plus, they'll probably put him in solitary confinement. And you know what happens with that. They did that with, I think it was Charles Manson. Remember him? The big killer of Sharon Tate and all those big murders. He was put in solitary confinement, and he asked to be let out because he couldn't stand the company. That's the way it is, you know, when you are a high-profile criminal or a crook. So if you're going to do it, you better do it big. Young people and old people now, now we're getting it together. You know why? Because we're forced to get it together. People with experience, and incidentally, rich people are the ones who are well-traveled on these cruise ships, older, many of them, but rich people are the ones who've been going international on the flights. So the plague of the rich people has been this, because the poor people haven't done anything, ain't gone anywhere, except on the subway maybe in New York. But you're not supposed to do that anymore. So Uber and Lyft have raised their prices, and everything's closing. So, radio's back now, serving its true purpose, announcing school closings. That's what made it famous when I was going to school. I called in as a nun one day, as a mother superior, and I pretended that I was the nun in charge of the school when I was a kid in school, and I called the radio station and closed the school, according to legend. Actually, I called in sick, is what it was. and I said, Joseph is sick. I said, and I'm not feeling too good. I kind of screwed it up, so I got caught. Whatever the case, you can't, you get caught in this society. The trouble is that nobody can afford a lawyer. Like Gloria Aldred. Now, what's she going to do for a living right now? I don't know. There's no women's causes because everybody's got a cause now. There's going to be a little community now. We're all going to have common unity. We're all going to have to get together. This is God's way of putting everybody in the one place that we all need to be, which is in the same room, talking about the same thing, settling problems. And if you think China's not good because they are taking all our work away and all our business away, that game's over. So now we're going to have to start producing things here again. And even Apple, which has done a lot of their products, I think, in Taiwan as well as China, they're going to have to make things here now. And maybe they're thinking probably how they're going to have to let some people go and raise the prices. That's probably what they're going to do. But they have to lower the prices because none of us have any money left. The oil stuff is going the way it's going with Russia jumping into the game. That fool over there, he's going to be running that country for a few years. And I think what we have to do right now is to just get out of the politics and get into helping each other. Even the president looks tired right now. Can you blame him? He looks like he needs some sleep. You can't. And he supposedly was near somebody who had it and had the virus and didn't get tested. I'm still working on my second shingles shot. Boy, try saying that with a mouthful. This is definitely a different time in history, and it's a new normal. I don't know. A normal is a setting on a dryer. I don't think there is anything as normal. There never was normal. There never was, and this is a floating crap game, is what it is. I mean, the society, not this particular virus. My friend and Dr. Mark Siegel on Fox, he was the one who wrote the book on pandemics. Did that a few years back. He's pretty popular, pretty powerful. I want you to come to watch my story on Morton Downey Jr., which is on the late Joey Reynolds Facebook. Follow me on Facebook and YouTube. Morton Downey is a guy who was a loudmouth on television for a number of years, and my roommate in Syracuse took me to Hartford, and I played Sherry for 4 hours and got fired for making that record a big hit. That's not why they fired me. They fired me because the cops came to the station and people were calling and wondering what's going on, why this one record is playing for 4 hours. Back in those days when we only had a couple of stations that were playing the hits. And I was the one that was playing this thing over and over and over again, so finally the thing became a hit. Sherry, 4 seasons. It's in Jersey Boys, but they didn't use me. Even Clint Eastwood, who made it a darker movie, he didn't use me in it either. Frankie Valli says, I tried to talk Clint into it. Anyway, it's his life story. So, Frankie Valli, Frankie's a good friend. I'll tell you something else. I really have had a good life so far with everything in rock and roll. And I got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because I played music. A lot of these guys didn't get in there, like Howard Stern and Imus, because they were not about music. They're about talk. It's a different category. Now they want to put me in that Broadcast Hall of Fame, which everybody thinks I'm already in. That's in Chicago. It's a 100-year anniversary of radio this year. Marconi, the guy who was the Italian from Jersey. Wow, how novel is that? He came up with this idea of putting sound through the air. So we have sound and pictures. Sarnoff did that. David Sarnoff took it from a Russian guy who apparently invented the idea of the pictures going through the air. That's, as I understand it. It's a little controversial. But we got the sound on the site, and that's what we're doing. It's called a phone. That's what we're on right now. You're watching me maybe on your smartphone, or your smartphone just got dumb, as they say. So this is it. It's a Reynolds rap. I want you to follow Morton Downey Jr.'s life. It's the anniversary of his life, and it would have been the first reality television show in history. When he was between pictures, he left the television in New York and went to do Predator with Danny Glover in Hollywood as a film. And I think it was put together by the guy who was the French Connection cop, Sonny Grasso. So I was in the game here because I filmed him on the streets in L.A., and the same problems that we had 25 or 30 years ago, we still have now. So you watch those videos and you'll be amazed. It would have been the first reality television show. I gave them to King World. King World handed them over to one of their shows, which was the Inside Edition, who said that they could not sell the commercials with Morton Downey, so they didn't carry it. So I lost my moment there. But I'm still here having a great life because nobody knows who I am, and they leave me alone, pretty much. They know I don't have any money, so no one's bothering me. That's the way it goes, I told you what I'm leaving my kids, right? The same thing that was done with me with Les Paul, who said he was going to remember me in his will. And when they read the will, it said Joey Reynolds. Hi, Joey. He remembered me. It's a Reynolds rap.